Good morning, I'm Marie Caltabiano, and today I will be presenting on behalf of Jagdeep, Sabharwal and Koi Go. The title of our presentation is Academic Self-Efficacy, Self-Compassion and Burnout in Students. University students today are faced with high levels of cognitive demands, such as writing academic papers, studying for exams, and meeting various deadlines. Together with how academic achievement has become an important societal outcome, it is of no surprise that many students experience burnout. Academic burnout is characterized by feelings of emotional, physical, and cognitive exhaustion due to the demands of studying. It is accompanied by an attitude of withdrawal and disengagement from one's study. Research has shown that academic burnout is common among university students and even across different disciplines such as medicine, psychology, and business. So let's take a closer look at academic burnout. Previous studies have found that academic burnout negatively predicted students' academic achievement, be it in exams or assignments. And this is also reflected in their grade point average. Research has also found that academic burnout in students led to greater intentions of changing course and leaving their studies, or even to not pursue further studies. Additionally, academic burnout does not only affect academic performance, but it can possibly carry over to the workplace. Given that the symptoms of burnout require time to subside, it is likely to exist even when students first begin their career upon graduation. As such, in our study, we wanted to examine factors that affected students' academic burnout. In particular, self-compassion, academic self-efficacy, and the influence of parenting styles. Firstly, self-compassion can be simply defined as compassion turned inward. It consists of three key components: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. When faced with hardships and failures, self-kindness involves the extension of love and acceptance toward oneself, instead of harsh judgment and self-criticism. Common humanity means viewing these hardships and failures as part of the human condition, something that everyone experiences at some point in time, instead of viewing these in separation and isolation. And lastly, mindfulness involves the approach towards unpleasant feelings and thoughts with a balanced awareness as opposed to exaggerating and excessively focusing on them. Research has found that individuals with self-compassion are more likely to engage in mastery goals. In other words, these individuals aim to reach a certain desired standard through improvement and skill development. Self-compassion has also been found to positively correlate with coping, even among students who are dissatisfied with their grades. Most importantly, studies found a negative correlation between self-compassion and academic burnout, of which we were most interested in our study. To adequately face the demands of university, students need to have the conviction that they can successfully complete their degree. And this is what Bandura explained as an individual's self-efficacy: the individual's belief in his or her abilities to take necessary steps in successfully achieving a goal. Because acting on inaccurate self-efficacy can put one in an unfavourable position, individuals adjust their self-efficacy according to tasks and situations to reflect a better gauge of their capabilities. So in a way, this influences the amount of effort and perseverance put in by individuals in challenging situations. In our study, we specifically looked at academic self-efficacy, which can be defined as an individual's self-efficacy in terms of academic abilities and achievements. Past research has found that individuals with self-compassion also have higher academic self-efficacy. Additionally, academic self-efficacy is also linked to academic burnout. individuals with self-compassion are more likely to engage in productive study strategies, experience lesser negative emotions associated with anxiety, emotional instability, and sadness. And above all, the research has found a negative correlation between academic self-efficacy and academic burnout. Before individuals grow up and mature, it can be said that they largely depend on their parents for support. As such, parents influence and shape their child in multiple ways and can build up or tear down their self-compassion, academic self-efficacy, and academic burnout. Studies have found that support, attachment, and family functioning increases an individual's self-compassion. On the other hand, parenting styles, in particular authoritative parenting, develops academic self-efficacy. Moreover, a negative correlation was observed between supportive family relationships and academic burnout. And so the following hypotheses were assessed: that academic self-efficacy will mediate the relationship between self-compassion and disengagement, and also that academic self-efficacy will mediate the relationship between self-compassion and exhaustion, that self-compassion and academic self-efficacy will differ depending on the different parenting styles received, that disengagement and exhaustion will also differ depending on the different parenting styles received, that parenting styles will moderate the relationship between self-compassion and both disengagement and exhaustion, that disengagement and exhaustion will predict the number of modules that students dropped, as well as the number of assignments they failed to submit. There were a total of 231 students who answered our survey, but we removed 27 incomplete surveys, leaving a final sample of 204 students. There were 64 males and 138 females, whose ages range from 18 to 56, with a mean age of 22.8 years. Most of the students were first-year students. For the measures, we used the Self-Compassion Scale short form to assess the three components of self-compassion, these being self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. A sample item from this scale is: I'm disapproving and judgmental about my own flaws and inadequacies. The student's self-efficacy scale was used to assess self-efficacy beliefs with regards to didactic learning at university. A sample item from this scale is: I know that I can stay motivated to participate in the course. The Oldenburg Burnout Inventory student version was used to assess the two components of academic burnout, these being disengagement and exhaustion. A sample item from the disengagement subscale is: sometimes I feel sickened by my studies. And a sample item from the exhaustion subscale is: while studying, I often feel emotionally drained. We use the Parental Bonding Instrument to assess the type of parenting received by students in the first 16 years of their life. The PBI consists of two scales: parental care and parental overprotection. A sample item from the parental care subscale is: my parents enjoyed talking things over with me. And a sample item from the overprotection subscale is: my parents tried to control everything I did. We developed the student retention and career progression form to understand how students were doing at university and their thoughts about pursuing further study. It consisted of questions such as the number of modules they had dropped before their university census date, as well as the number of assignments they had failed to submit once they began their degree. We recruited respondents through the university's SONA system. Information about the study was provided via an information sheet, and students gave informed consent before completing the different questionnaires in the survey. Firstly, correlations were conducted to examine the relationships among the variables. As we can see, all the variables are correlated except for disengagement and care, as well as disengagement and overprotection. Next, we conducted a mediation analysis. Academic self-efficacy completely mediated the relationship between self-compassion and disengagement. We can see that there was a significant total effect, while the direct effect was not significant. Academic self-efficacy partially mediated the relationship between self-compassion and exhaustion. Both the total and the direct effect were significant. Next, a one-way ANOVA was conducted, and the results indicated a significant difference in academic self-efficacy and exhaustion among students who had received different parenting styles. The difference emerged between individuals with optimal parenting and affectionless control. Academic self-efficacy was significantly higher in individuals with optimal parenting, and exhaustion was significantly lower in individuals with optimal parenting. Next, we went on to conduct a moderation analysis. However, the results showed that there were no interaction effects. So this is for both self-compassion and disengagement, as well as for the interaction between self-compassion and exhaustion. Lastly, we found that exhaustion significantly predicted the number of modules the students dropped, as well as the number of assignments that students failed to submit. So let us refer to the hypotheses that were shown earlier. Overall, we found that academic self-efficacy plays an important role in the relationship between self-compassion and academic burnout, and this was seen in the mediation analyses. We also saw that while parenting styles received did not moderate the relationship between self-compassion and academic burnout, it appeared that parental care and protection in some way or another have an influence on individuals' self-compassion and academic self-efficacy, as was seen in the correlations and the one-way ANOVA. So, to conclude, academic self-efficacy plays an important role in the relationship between students' self-compassion and academic burnout. One implication of this finding is that universities should offer the necessary support to build up academic self-efficacy in students. University counselling centres could develop interventions such as mindfulness-based self-compassion to enhance academic self-efficacy and to reduce academic burnout in students. Another finding was that parental care and protection influences individual self-compassion and academic self-efficacy. So, parents should nurture and develop children in self-compassion and academic self-efficacy. There are a number of limitations which should be acknowledged. Firstly, we assessed parenting received in the first 16 years of the student's life, and as such, the data could be subject to recall bias. In addition, we did not assess the cultural background of students, and we know that parenting does differ across cultures, so the influence of culture should be assessed in future research. Also, we did not ask participants the reason as to why they decided to drop modules, so future research could include this. Thank you.